The biggest question currently going in the UFL, are the Battlehawks for real? Or did they just play two teams that are cheeks? Well, guess what? That question's getting answered this week because they're playing a real team. I don't know much about the Battlehawks, but what I do know is that they're in trouble. Next on DC Defender Show. What is going on there, DC DMV faithful? This is your guy Aric. I had to jump on here because this was so sudden, so behind everything. Me and Tay recorded the episode already, and then about 30 minutes later, the news broke that old Double G, G-Reg Greg Williams is flying the coop as well to go join Reggie Barlow a lot sooner than we all thought. Got to be honest, folks, and stay tuned. The regular show with the recap of the boats and the preview of the Battlehawks is going to be right after this. This is going to be real quick, which I just wanted to give a little update, jump in, and be able to give a take on this Greg Williams situation. Got to be honest, folks. This one concerns me a little more. One of the primary reasons that I wasn't that concerned about Reggie Barlow leaving is because we had the best coordinator tandem in the league. We had Fred Kice, we had Greg Williams, we had these decorated, experienced, real talented coordinators. And so Greg Williams, especially since the defense is by far the strength of the team, and a big part of that is him picking out the scheme weaknesses, the protection weaknesses in the opposing offenses, knowing when to dial up these blitzes, knowing when to dial up these different pressure packages. It's a big part of why we've been successful so far this season. His son, Blake Williams, is going to step into the role. So to that end, hey, we've said it before. We'll say it again. We'll keep on saying it. This is what this league is for. This is the league of opportunity. I'm sure Blake Williams did not think at this point in his life and career he was going to be the defensive coordinator of a professional football team. And yet here he is. So we got to hope that the father has learned from the son. Or the son, excuse me, the other way around. The son has learned from the father, and things will continue to go well for this defense. No ill feelings, no ill will. Hey, man, spring football's coming up. The transfer portal's coming up. Greg Williams wants to roll into, some living rooms and do some recruiting with those Super Bowl rings on his fingers. I get it, and I'm not mad at it because, again, this is what we want from this league. We want people to come to this league expecting to be able to find opportunity, to be able to get more tape, to be able to show what they can do and go on to bigger and better things. So we should be happy for them, and we should hope that Blake Williams steps in and he thrives and does a great job, and maybe he'll be on the way to somewhere, or he'll keep being the defensive coordinator and do a great job throughout the year. The whole thing's getting switched over this next season anyhow. Let's just be glad that we got 2 wins already banked in. And hey, you know what? Battlehawks are dealing with the same thing. Don't let this kill your hope for this weekend. Battlehawks are dealing with the same thing. They got a 20-year-old with an Xbox controller on their side calling plays because their offensive coordinator left a few weeks before the season started. So it's our young guy against their young guy. Xbox controllers are out; they're ready to rock. So it is more concerning. I'm a little more upset about this one, but this is the way this league is going to work. This is the way this is going to league, and in its function, it is how the league succeeds. So, good luck to Blake Williams. We're riding with you, full support. Everybody, please stay tuned. The show is about to start. Your usual, and also in this show, me and Tay are going to talk about defensive game plan where we got to plan better for the scrambles, for the scrambling quarterback that we did not contain against Alex Magoo. That game plan, nothing that we said about the defensive game plan, what needs to happen, nothing about that has changed. It's all the same. We got to hit hard, we got to hit fast, and we got to contain those quarterback scrambles. The talent is still there. It's still the best star for star, I would say, defense in the league. And the plan for this weekend has not changed. So what you're about to watch, what happened here doesn't really affect our thoughts and our analysis on what needs to happen in this Battlehawks game. So stay tuned. Me and Tay coming at you right now with a Showboats recap with a Battlehawks preview. Let's get it. All right, we're in here. DC Defender Show, United Football Media, another win win week, win Friday. Happy Football Friday, everybody. This is when the show comes out. Another victory. It went very similarly to what we said it was going to happen. Our guy, defensive back for the Boats was out there making plays. I believe he had an interception for a moment and then it taken back on a penalty. Their wide receiver, that wide receiver for the Boats, man, he's going to be in the NFL next year. He is ridiculous. That catch on the sideline, man, I thought maybe our goose was cooked after that happened, because that's the type of play that gets made like before a game turns around. But the defense for the DC Defenders once again showed it is quite possibly the best defense in the league. And that's why it's going to be a good litmus test for this all-star crew of the Battlehawks. And I'm not going to lie, man, this is a big challenge, but that's the same thing that everybody said again about the Birmingham game. And we saw how that went. This DC Defender defense has a tendency to come up here and smash up these pretty little high-flying offenses. So, once again, we're near 7-point underdogs. I hope it goes up. I hope it gets nice and disrespectful by the time kickoff comes, because clearly this team thrives under those conditions. But really a 6.5 point line. You take 3 points for home field. That's the book saying that the Battlehawks are only 3.5 points better. It's not terrible. It's not too disrespectful. It should probably be lower, according to many of the power rankings, including United Football Media's power rankings. Should probably be lower, but so that's the line. Really, the books are saying they're 3 points better than us. Not sure if I agree. This pass rush once again showed up this week. They were all over EJ Perry. EJ Perry, who, by the way, had some good numbers. That's what was good about this week's game, though, is EJ Perry and this Boats offense, they moved the ball. They did some things. Ken Wisenhunt's calls, Ken Wisenhunt's design for their first week with him as coach, it looked good at times. They just were not able to cash in with points because there's so many layers of star individual great players on this DC Defenders defense. They were able to step up and make plays when they needed to be made, keep the Boats out of scoring range just enough where the DC Defenders get the 12-17 win. Some box stats for you. We again another win. Try not to be too negative with a win. But this Tiamu thing was looking pretty chunky a couple of times. This pass pro, I mean, the PFF grades aren't out, unfortunately, by the time we're recording this. I'm expecting this line to have an overall 70 plus. They were phenomenal, especially in pass pro on Saturday night. So that, by the way, great job to the crowd. You guys packing out, getting a bunch of people. We had even more attendance this week than we had the first week. Saturday night, Rowdy Audi was rocking. Loved seeing it. They commented on it during the broadcast. Phenomenal job, fellas and ladies. Great job packing out Rowdy Audi, making it the best atmosphere in the UFL. Yeah, I said it. I don't care about this. So, back in the XFL days, people will recall this was like a rivalry. There was scrappiness, and I'm expecting some spiciness this week because this Battlehawk team likes to woof it up a lot. They were talking a lot of smack in the faces of the Brahmas last week, especially their quarterback, Manny Wilkins, who likes to run, who likes to put his head down, who likes to talk smack to people after he does these things. You try that on all Anthony Hines. You try that on all Taylor Hawkins. You got another thing coming. Our corners will hit you. That's how we get down on the DC Defenders. So I expect some spiciness. I expect fireworks. This is going to be a good time. But back to the Boats recap. Tiamu under 50% again, 46%, was just missing on a lot of throws, unfortunately. The pass protection from the offensive line was fantastic. They only gave up 1 sack the entire game, and Tiamu was not really under pressure. I loved what I saw out of them. A lot of these pockets, especially in the second half, were clean. Were completely clean pockets for him to throw from. He was just missing. Please stop throwing on first down. I am begging you to stop throwing the ball on first down. Because at this point, like, I have the math to back me up. Because even if the run game ain't working so great, even if we get 1 yard or 2 yards, well, if our quarterback is under 50%, that means there's a less than half chance that we're gaining any yards on first down. And you know what's better? You know what's worse than 2nd and 8, 2nd and 10. And if you're throwing the ball on first down, we are at a under 50% chance of having any yardage on first down. So please, I don't know what else you need to see. And it was funny seeing Kai at halftime during the interview. He said, the plays are there. The plays are there. You're not wrong. I see it too. Like, I see the guys open, but it ain't happening. It's not working. So at some point, you got to accept what your eyes are seeing. And my eyes were seeing Tiamu missed these passes for a second week in a row with fantastic pass protection. It's tough, man. Because the whole thing, again, we said it every week, predicates off having to pay attention to the run. The RPO game is what Tiamu's good at. The bootlegs are what Tiamu's good at. How did we score when we made the scoring touchdown? On a play action sneak. Beautiful play, by the way. Sneak, the H in motion, sneaking, faking a block, turning around, catching the pop pass. Incredible stuff. It was a beautiful play design. But again, that was off of play action. That was off of run action, off of him faking a run block with a H lead up the middle for the touch. Like, so what else? Please start trusting what your eyes see. I understand what we're trying, but you got to start trusting what your eyes seeing, guys. On the defensive side of the ball, again, stellar performance. Momo Sonogo, the big man, who we pointed out in the preseason, our leading tackler with 7 tackles. DeAndre Baker played himself a hell of a game, 6, except for the one play. Oh my God, how do you get beat twice on one deep pass? Other than that, though, he was smoking it. 6 tackles, 1 pass defensed. Our man Taylor Hawkins, 6 tackles. We called that in the preseason. Knew he was going to be a beast. Defense didn't generate any sacks, but they generated plenty of pressure and were tight in their assignments. Played really good football. Again, every time the defenders would move the ball, EJ Perry doing what he can because you need to respect him. But couldn't quite do enough to get the points on the board. Defenders do enough and allowed rowdy Audi. It was a beautiful thing. Tay, what were your thoughts on Boats defenders this weekend?
The Showboats played better than I thought. They definitely could have won this game, if they really wanted to.
I think they might have it. They're gonna have a shot at the playoffs. I think on that side of the board.
They're a scrappy team. Seems like they'll be in every game. They're better than last year. They're definitely better than they were last year. Te'amu just was missing open people. Like there was one play where I think Roland was in the slot and they just sent them on the deep ball, and if it was a good pass, that's a 50-yard touchdown. But he underthrew it.
I think it happened twice.
It just wasn't that. Like it's just stuff like that, because you don't get hundreds of opportunities to score touchdowns, So if it's there, you gotta execute. And I just didn't feel like the passing game was just executed well. I mean, Ty Scott, Chris Rowland, they played good. Those are clearly
Ty Scott, guys. 5 catches again, 5 for 59. He has lived up to the hype that you gave him as being a capable number 1 receiver for sure.
Yeah. So it's clear those are 2 guys. I'm confident in our 2 guys. We just have to execute the passing game. We just have to make better passes. Like you said, stop passing on first down because not every quarterback can just handle passing on first down. Like I get it. It can throw the defense off, but like, is it really worth it? Not really.
Hasn't been so far.
Yeah, exactly. And then I don't know. The sacks thing, no sacks, that's fine because sacks don't tell the whole story. Pressures is really what's the most important. Just the fact that you're giving the quarterback a hard time.
There was a series in the second half when it was getting real tight, the defense made a great play, got the ball back, and then boop, we went out there 3 straight passes and complete, punted the ball right back. I was like, oh my God, I was ready to rip my hair out at that point.
Yeah. So quarterback, that's clearly our weakest position right now. We're 2-0. That's our weakest position right now. I don't know if we need a change, or I wouldn't say change just yet, but if we lose and he doesn't play a good game, I would, I'd be down for a change, but
it's tough because you got the good brother Case Cook is just hanging out on the third string on the Stallions. That is hurtful.
Yeah,
that is hurtful to my heart. Knowing he's just sitting there and we're over here with winning games with great performances from our defense with a 45% completion and a offensive line. Oh my gosh, Case Cook is to get behind that offensive line, behind that pass protection. And that would be a beautiful thing.
That's the only thing that really worries me about this team going forward. Like the run game, we get it done. We got 2 running backs I trust. Abram Swift, Deion Jackson. They both had solid games themselves.
Yep.
Receivers, like I said,
Deion Jackson, that was one of your guys in the preseason. He is more and more. He got a little bit more snaps. He got a little bit more touches this week.
Yeah.
He's working his way into being a primary weapon here.
Yeah. So I mean, I trust everything else. I trust the pass rush. I love the secondary. Momo Sanogo, we already talked about him. So I mean, you just need better quarterback play. That's kind of it. I know it's the hardest position. It's tough to ask for, but maybe we need a change. I don't know
if I'm ready to bail just yet. But the clock's ticking because it wasn't good last year either.
Yeah, we shouldn't change just yet. But I would say if we lose and he has a bad game, yes, because I don't want to lose 2 weeks in a row and he has bad games. So like he's not bad. It's just like little things, execution. It's like accuracy. I mean, just has to improve. Like we're missing touchdowns for stuff like that. Like we should have scored 20. Like I predicted 25. We missed a wide open touchdown. I mean, Chris Rowland was 10 yards separated from the person guarding him, but the ball was thrown 10 yards short. You know what that means? It's an incomplete pass. So
yeah.
It's just he's taking care of the ball, but that's my only concern going forward. We got 8 weeks left. We 2-0.
The thing that's tough, man, is the XFL conference is so damn good.
Yeah, that's true.
Like we don't really have time to have like this gaping hole in one part of our team.
Exactly.
Arlington is looking like a team that's put it all together this year.
They're different. They're good this year. Of course,
we got the big dogs. We got the Battlehawks on our side, and then the Brahmas. It's been tough results, but the names on the roster are still the names on the roster.
Yeah.
It's not going to be. You can't just assume it's going to be a walkover. Like they still got the guys. This just hasn't worked out. It's been crazy so far for them, but they still got the names on the roster. So you can't take them lightly or you're going to drop a stupid game. And with how much talent is on this conference side, you can't really afford to do that. So it's a tough situation, man. They've tied their fortunes to Tiamu. I don't know how much we could really. They seem to really like the Diallo guy. They bring him in, down there by the goal line. I don't know. Maybe he's more of a run threat. Maybe if they accept his limitations as a passer, they'll start calling plays like they have a limited passer. Because right now they're calling plays like they don't have a limited passer, but they do. So maybe if they bring the running quarterback in and they accept that they have limitations as a passer game, we can call the game like that.
Exactly.
So I don't know. Maybe that's what we need to force them into the right situation. All right, this Battlehawks matchup. What's your thoughts going into this one, man? I'm looking for some spice. We don't really got to say the names at this point. The last week, the boats are a little bit of an unknown, but everybody knows the names for the Battlehawks. Really don't need no introduction, and they haven't really showed much weaknesses as of now.
Yeah.
We're going to need Tiamu to get it together this week. Can you give me 55% completion? Can you give me that? We're going to need that. We're going to need that at least. This under 50% stuff is not. It's not going to get it done against a team like the Battlehawks. It's just not. We're going to need you to like that long pass. You miss a long pass like that, like he missed this week. We're not winning this game.
Exactly.
Like you got to. You're going to have to execute in all levels to beat this Battlehawks team because they are rolling. And they got stars on the team that haven't even done anything for them yet.
Exactly.
Hakeem Butler hasn't done nothing. Denzel Mims hasn't done nothing. They're loaded. So it's going to take everything that we got. But I think it can happen. I think that's where it hinges. If Tiamu can get 55%, then we can get it done. If not, we're not going to get it done. What are your thoughts on this Battlehawks preview?
Defense just has to continue to show up. That's been the best part of our team, if not one of the best defenses in the league. So
and honestly, to show up. Their performance against the scrambling Magoo a couple weeks ago is concerning going into this.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
They need to get that figured out because they didn't get it figured out against Magoo. It needs to be in the plan coming in this week because we cannot afford Wilkins
because they love
whatever he wants scrambling. Yeah, they sure do.
Yeah, I mean, we just have to. I like the guys we have. We've been holding teams to not really a lot of points and stuff. So I know the Battlehawks are, they're probably one of the best teams. So we just gotta have a good defensive game plan. Stop the run because it'll make it easier on us, because we'll know passing situations are coming, so you can prepare yourself more. Because man, they got about 3-4 guys that can run the ball. So we it's gonna be tough. It's definitely
the Battlehawks are basically the team that everybody thought the Stallions were.
Yeah,
they are that. They are loaded in the run game. They are loaded in the skills. They do have a ultra dynamic, a level above running quarterback. They have all of those things. They have a good pass rush. So the defenders have the talent. We have the defense. We have the runners. We have the receivers. We have the players to make this happen. But we got to clean it up. We got to have a game plan for this scrambling quarterback. We got to have Tiamu hitting these passes that are wide open. We need him to get 55%. He needs to not miss any of the long stuff or anything that they give us. And we have to have a defensive scheme plan to take on the scrambling quarterback and not just let him scramble at will like we did Alex Magoo. Those are, to me, are the keys to pulling this off in the Battle Dome. Either way, I think it's going to be fun because I think there's going to be some people getting in each other's chests. And also, it's not one thing that has been an ethos of mine for many, many years and continues to prove itself is usually when two great teams play each other multiple times, the same team don't win all of them. So if you lose the first one, chances are there's a good chance you're going to win the second one. You learn more lessons in a loss than you do in a win. So if we don't pull this one off, it's not like it's the end. It's just the beginning. But what I'm saying is, to me, those are the keys. We have to get Tiamu to 55% completion, and we have to have a plan to contain Manny Wilkins scrambling. Do you got any other keys that you think are going to be important, Tay?
Make it easy on Tiamu. I don't want
to run the ball on first down is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's really it. That's really it. And just play our best defense. Like, I don't think it has to be complex. Like, we know who we're playing. We know who we're playing. You just got to come in there, play your best game. That's really all I can say. We know who we're playing. We're not playing the Showboats this week. So just play your best game, and we'll be just fine.
Stop treating Tiamu like something he's not. Stop forcing a square peg into a round hole. He's a running mobile quarterback who works off of RPO, who works off of play action. Stop. And for those things to work, you got to run the ball on first down. So commit to it. Run the RPOs. Do the things that make it easy for him so he can be as good as he can be.
Right.
Please. United Football Media is as good as it can be. We're piling up the shows. We finally got the Battlehawks show back up rolling. Old Noah. We're going to see you this week. buddy, you picked a bad week to come back because we're coming in there to take over that Battle Dome. He's back. Of course, check us all out on Tell Me About It. Sunday nights, recapping all the games, previewing all the games. If you would like a shorter version, excited to see what they're seeing over there on Brahma Bullpen. But what's going on with the Brahmas? I believe that show is up, was posted up earlier on this week since we go on Fridays. Otherwise, happy Football Friday, everybody. Get ready for some DC Defenders domination this week. This is the DC Defenders show on United Football Media.